Welcome to r/agedlikemilk, where the Schadenfreude is real. Trump feuding with Marjorie Taylor Greene, but being in love with Zoran Mamdani was not on my November 2025 bingo card. Yeah, did hell freeze over, or what? Sad that we need a dead man's emails to believe the testimony of 1,000 living women. They're still not really believing it. I mean, the cult's still doing everything to try and cover it up. They didn't believe the testimony, they're not gonna believe the emails, and they wouldn't even believe it if the whole thing got released uncensored. Cult's a con. Emails ruined Hillary's presidency, and now they're gonna ruin Trump's. Ha! You think this will break the cult? I want you to be right though. I would also like to be right, but I think the only thing that can break the cult is Trump turning face. And obviously, that won't happen. I mean, you never know. Trump could literally say that he's a communist, and I really would be surprised if the cult found a way to suddenly say that communism is the best form of governance. Trump bought Boeing bonds while rewarding the company billions in federal contracts. Definitely doesn't scream corruption. He brought Intel bonds after directing the government to acquire a stake in the company. Yeah, definitely not corruption. He brought Meta bonds while pushing AI-friendly policy. But not corruption, guys. Could never be corruption. Trump isn't governing, he's cashing in. Yeah, I really don't know what people expected voting in the multi-billionaire Nepo baby, expecting that he was going to give a shit more about the everyday person than filling his own pockets. Joseph Goebbels would be so proud. When all this is over, the whole world will come to know how so many American minds were poisoned and conned. Well, I mean, they're trying to dissolve the Department of Education for a pretty damn good reason. And if you think it was to make people more intelligent and less gullible, you'd be wrong. After it turned out that about 2/3 of Twitter's MAGA and far-right accounts are based in Russia, Nigeria, and Bangladesh, Musk has now shut down the location feature. And, I mean, started it back up again, but gave all those bot farms ample time to turn on some VPNs and change their locations. I mean, if you've been on Twitter, or really any social media, you look at MAGA and far-right accounts, and you really think that they're not just propaganda machines? They're either individuals bought out, or bot farms. And some trickled in between. As much as they try to act like it, they're not the majority. And they're just in it for the money or power. Why isn't this a bigger deal? Well, the regime's narrative doesn't allow it. The amount of accounts exposed yesterday was wild. Nowhere on the front page, not a super upvoted post in the technology sub, and only 400 upvotes as of right now. Well, you think the multi-billionaires and the corporations really want you knowing that the whole far-right agenda, which fills their pockets, isn't actually as popular as you'd think? Because the billionaires who control the media benefit from troll farms as much as anybody, and they have no interest in exposing the game. They want so badly for public opinion and the nature of reality to align with their alternative worldview and pocketbooks. In any other universe, it would be classified as a grave illness. I think they shut it down before most major media outlets caught wind. A few other GOP members messaged us over the weekend saying that they, too, are considering retiring in the middle of the term. Yeah, really screams, everyone loves Trump, doesn't it? And the political status quo of Republicans screeching and saying abhorrent shit on social media, and generally not even acting like politicians and more like toddlers in a class having a temper tantrum. People are abandoning the USS Piggy and swimming for days to get on the Newsom yacht of love. Many suffer from PTSD, post-Trump stress disorder. Some call it Post-Trump stench disorder. The GOP knows that it's over. Admiral Adderall is taking on water. That's a good one. Papaya Palpatine. Admiral Adderall. Another one to add to my list of names. And not just in his cankles. If your country opens a Department of War and closes the Department of Education, then you live in a shithole. From the other 98%. Yeah, dismantling education and then prioritizing war, is really doesn't remind me of any books. Making sure people aren't as informed on anything and the government's directive being the only directive. Not trusting your eyes and ears. And war. Yeah, it doesn't remind me of any books. Nothing Orwellian at all. Hey chat, if you guys enjoy this gay guy reading stuff, you should totally like, subscribe and share, cause it helps me a lot. Also, press that weird hype button. It apparently does something. Anyways, thanks for watching, and back to the video. Breaking news. The Defense Department, or I'm trying to call it the fucking War Department, but no one serious is going to call it that, says it may recall Senator Mark Kelly, a retired Navy captain and astronaut, and refer him to court-martial proceedings for appearing in a video where he urged service members not to follow unlawful orders. Yeah, and doing that definitely doesn't seem unlawful to me. Definitely not. Doesn't scream fascist and trying to punish people for expressing their First Amendment right of free speech. Yeah, of course not. This is exactly how to score massive political points for your opponents, while also embarrassing yourself in the process. Trump and Keg's breath, the alleged pinnacles of masculinity. Ah yes, pinnacles of masculinity. Some senile old man who shits his diaper and throws a tantrum on social media whenever he doesn't get his way, and a chronic alcoholic who's had multiple domestic disputes. Yeah, definitely. So masculine, guys. Every man should aspire to be like Trump and fucking Keg's breath. And them trying to pick a fight with a fighter pilot and astronaut. Very bold strategy. Today, Trump called a female reporter a stupid person. Yesterday, he called a female reporter ugly on the outside and the inside. And last week, he called a female reporter piggy. Yeah, this is unacceptable behaviour. I really don't know how people can research this guy for more than 5 minutes and still want to vote for him. I mean, obviously, unless they're bigoted and just a general piece of shit themselves. This should be unacceptable behaviour. But society seems to be doing a lot of accepting it though. I really want to see us examine the kind of message it sends to Americans to hold this man so highly. I want a series of skits showing the kind of behaviour that you would have if you want to be presidential. So, if you want to be a president someday, let's explore the kind of action and behaviour that will be rewarded by society. I want to shame people. I tell people to imagine their 5-year-old saying and doing everything he does. Every lie. Would you actually believe your 5-year-old weaving these excuses together? Then why do you tolerate it from the fucking president? If your kid's teacher was being asked a question and he called the asker a pig, would you laugh and say, "Serves her right," or discipline them? If you don't accept it from a 5-year-old, why would you accept it from a president? Not even accept, worship. You're putting that 5-year-old's face on flags on your pontoon boat. DOGE is ending 8 months early. It will have cost us $135 billion to rehire workers, $21.7 billion in waste. But I thought DOGE was for efficiency. Elon Musk said we would save all of the money. Every dollar on the planet will be saved because of his amazing doggy coin techno bro Doge. And then he was going to use all the money to go to Mars or some bullshit like that. Whatever he would want to spend. I really don't know what's more insufferable. Elon Musk cultists or MAGA cultists?
A potential loss of more than $500 billion in tax revenue over 10 years, and a loss of $10 billion in economic activity, with the loss of programs that previously returned billions to taxpayers. The Trump administration is ordering the State Department to label countries with abortion access, LGBTQ+ protections, DEI policies, and even hate speech safeguards as human rights violators. Now, it seems an awful lot like, based off of that, maybe the Trump regime is the one that's the human rights violators. Because last time I checked, abortion access, LGBTQ protections, and basic diversity, yeah, pretty fundamental human rights. And also, not being able to commit hate crimes on people. Being against those things really doesn't scream good guy, does it? Crockett on MTG resigning. Honestly, I was like, you gotta be kidding. You're on the other side of the president for 1 week and you can't take the heat? Imagine what it is to sit in my shoes. Well, yeah, that's MAGA all over. They're fine with spewing. It's double standards. And they call us snowflakes.